I guess first off, can you just take us through your strategy today? Obviously making 2 deals, what went into both of them?
Yeah, I mean, kind of through the whole trade deadline, and I'd say over like the last 72 hours, we've been touching base with a lot of different clubs. Got ourselves to a point where we were able to execute some things today that we wanted to do. I think through the whole process, we talked about just trying to grow that run differential a little bit, and if it yielded itself in more production offensively and scoring more, we were going to be open-minded to that. And if it yielded, an opportunity to prevent more runs, we would be open to that too. And I actually think both things were satisfied. So we were able to kind of grow that run differential and strengthen our club today. So that was all in all positive day.
In terms of things you didn't do, probably the most obvious one is lefty relief. Not a lot of depth there. Did you come close? And if not, what was kind of your strategy there?
Yeah, we actually did come close in the left-handed market, but I just couldn't get the price point to an area where we thought that was reasonable for us to do, given where we were in the season and what we were going to have to yield to do that. So that just felt like it was a little strong for us. We have some options internally to potentially look at, I think, as we get a little closer to the close of the season. But also, we know that Yoeli's got some track record and feel comfortable about him being able to get back to the best version of himself. Getting out there last night, having a scoreless inning was a step in the right direction, and a lot of faith in our staff to kind of get him back to where he was earlier in the year for us. So these things, have a way of working out. So there's some options internal, and we'll see where we go.
How much interest or how much enticement did other teams try to give you, trying to pry some of your top prospects from you and tempting you in that way?
Yeah, there was a lot of inquiries at the front end of that group. I think but one of the things that we've talked about here is just really trying to maintain that organizational discipline to kind of crush any urge, to make a snap or an impulsive decision and give up large amounts of future World Series odds or expectation in exchange for just some marginal gains right now. So I think some of that undisciplined thinking can lead to years of mediocrity and kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And so was really happy to be able to kind of put Vogelbach and Ruf together. And I'm sure all of you have done the work and looked at the splits and everything of that nature. And so, we feel we've been able to really add, using 2 roster spots, an impact bat for us to be able to utilize. And we were able to do everything that we wanted to do and kind of stay out of the inside of our top, if I'm speaking in technicalities, stay out of our top 19 prospects. And we're able to strengthen the club today. Kind of over the last couple of weeks. So feel good about how things transpired.
Just wondering how you balance, taking that long view with a team that is off to, I think, the second best start in franchise history through this number of games, and a team that looks perhaps special going into October.
Yeah, I mean, we understand what our, kind of odds look like. We can factor in different types of acquisitions and see how that changes. But what we can also do is factor in the players that we're yielding, and kind of through the forecast and some of the predictive modeling that we're able to do, we can look and see what does that actually subtract from the future, and how many years does that subtract out in the future. And if you're, subtracting a percent or a percentage and a half aggregate over a 4-year period or 5-year period to move up 1% now, that's just, I don't think that's how sustainability, which has been an objective of mine and Steve's and Sandy's, as we were kind of putting this whole thing together, is to try to do everything in service to that kind of sustainability. And so that's how we kind of measure that. Nothing presented itself that didn't take too much of that, or everything that presented itself just took too much of that future away.
Along those lines, how much did you consider the catching position, and did you come close to doing anything there?
last night I felt like we were a little close, but then today some things kind of drifted apart, and you know, we weren't going to try to chase it down and do something that we would regret. So you know, we'll get James back here shortly, and you know, that'll reinforce the position. And you know, we also have a young kid that all of you have asked me about individually and pulled me aside, and so but I don't think he's at a point where he's going to factor in right now. So but yeah, we didn't want to chase something down and commit multi-years to a situation, and we didn't feel that was the prudent thing to do.
Your primary rivals in the division were very aggressive today and this week. I'm just curious how much that's concerning to you, both in terms of maybe your models and where you guys stand compared to them, and also even just anecdotally the fact that those teams both seem like, you know, they're committed to making a run at this thing and making a run at you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I tended to really focus on us,
Single,
and
9-6
make
on
everything
the put out
about
second.
us. And if we do that, you know, we'll be in good shape. And so, you know, it stands out that we were able to make our club better today, both offensively and on the you know, run prevention side. So just focus on us, and you know, we made the moves that we felt were in the best interest of this organization.